Welcome to the morning mix. Moro.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
How was the weekend?
That's okay.
Just okay.
Just okay.
Of course, you can see that Anatopi is here in the studio for Okhandi. He's attending to something, but he is going to be back in the studio. But it is a Monday, so we have Mr. Fabian joining us this morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back to the morning mix.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, how was the weekend?
The weekend was fantastic. Beautiful rain showers. However, it was a bit clouded by traffic infringements. Most vehicles are not roadworthy. However, we managed to educate as well as reprimand those that are not complying with what is expected from them.
Okay. I actually wanted to ask Mr. Fabian, before we get into the issues over the weekend, I wanted to ask, what did you do for Valentine's Day? It was Vrydag.
For me, every day I treat it a special day with my partner. Okay. I just don't like the commercial aspect that is attached to Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be Valentine for me to buy roses for my partner. It doesn't have to be my birthday for me to buy a birthday cake. I just have to crave for it and go get it in the shop. So that's the same concept or ideology that I apply on days that are put on the calendar. You treat your partner every day. She won't even notice it's Valentine because every now and then, when opportunity presents itself, you spoil her.
Away?
That's nice.
Yeah, I wish Neville was here to hear this.
You want to call us out again, Mary? I believe Lawson's net 8. All right, Fabian, let's get into this weekend. What does the crime report look like, I guess, for this morning, as far as the weekend is concerned?
This weekend, what stood out is items that are sold on the street, black market, and public members come to our offices crying crocodile tears when the deal goes wrong. What normally happened is, because it was there were a lot of Valentine specials where individuals are told, if you want to secure placement at this lodge, give this amount of money and then we'll reserve it for you. Only later for the client to realize that place doesn't exist, and the service provider, it was just a made-up belief. We are at times very naive, and we came across those situations where public members were really heartbroken. And with that, it goes with the message that I like to tie in, that it's very important for us to do background check. When you see an offer on social platform, just Google for those numbers, call the head office or the office where they operate from, verify information. Now you send your hard-earned money just to realize you just became a statistic of a scheme. And on top of that, the weekend there was infringements, traffic infringement. Drivers were not adhering, they were speeding. As now as I speak to you, at the corner of Lirwako, I always struggle with that name. It's Dr. Kwaima Lirwako and Sam Nyoma. There's a serious accident that took place there now, and it's not human error, it's something that could have been avoided.
That the truck?
all emergencies, are they still attending? Yes. A certain perimeter has been set to ensure that all the assistants and everybody that needs to be helped, they get the necessary attention. We are simply just saying to those that make use of that particular spot or intersection to be rather patient with the process, and to attenuate if they haven't already made use of that particular intersection. But all in all, the weekend was good, and we hope that public members continue to adhere and to go and to refer always to their learner manual. At times we forget what we have learned because it's been a long time. Let's use it as our Bible and just reflect back in terms of the speed limit, in terms of the general duty of the driver. Then we'll find ourselves always in the right direction. And alternatively, as well, we are saying is, when an officer approaches you, it's your right to ask for identification. It's your right to make sure that they introduce themselves properly and to ask questions. However, compliance is needed. In situations where there's no compliance, the Police Act is very clear. We are empowered to make use of minimum force. And it's always important that we do what is expected of us. Even me myself, when I'm off duty and I come across officers, my counterpart Nampol, I comply fully with them because I know that they are on duty and they're just doing what is it they are mandated for.
Okay. Mr. Fabian, I remember towards the end of last year, there was a call to the public from the city police, especially for people who have reported stolen items and stuff, that they had to come and come collect, basically, or come see if one of the items in your possession was maybe one of the stuff that they had stolen. How did that go? And did people pick up stuff, or are you guys still sitting with a large inventory of stolen items?
In fact, a lot of people came, entity representatives. There were a lot of laptops that we had stocked as a result of our operation, and overwhelmingly, most people, it was a success story. They came and claimed their laptops. In other situations, people could not identify because they did not put unique identification mark for us to know that it belongs to them. And that's the message I also like to send out there, that when you own a TV or whatever that you might own, just engrave something there, even with a sharp object, so that in the event that it's stolen, at least it's easier, or at least be able to remember the password of your laptop, anything that can help us. Because at face value, if you tell us that's yours, it's your word against any other person in the universe. Yes. So it's imperative for us to always know and to link whatever we are having to you.
Maria, are you with us this morning? Oh.
It's a lot of things.
You don't have any stolen items you need to go pick up?
No, I'm good. I actually have a stolen camera, but it's another story for how the city police did me injustice, but that's fine.
Ooh.
Anyway, you said something about, and I have, as a vehicle owner myself, during the rainy season, our driving is a bit. Is it that Namibians are not trained to drive when it's raining, or is it we just are reckless? Do you guys see a peak in road accidents when it's during this type of weather?
Yeah, we do. As a matter of fact, because the road is more wet, and when you speed, it becomes difficult for you to control the vehicle when you are trying to stop to brake, because the vehicle won't brake at the normal spot where it's supposed to brake. It will go a little bit further. So yes, we noticed, even this weekend alone, we noticed there was a lot of crashes. Some are side swipes, some are head rear, and contributing factor is always speeding. We are always in a rush to change when the traffic light is changing, in a rush to go pick up our kids. However, I'm not only solely blaming it on the drivers. We have situations where the traffic light is not pedestrian friendly, or is not driver friendly, in a sense that you find one one lane where there's a pool of vehicles, the traffic light changes quickly, and then it's only able to take maybe 4 vehicles. Why? It's a main road, And it's, let's say, for example, Independence Avenue turning into B1 City or turning into Western Bypass. There only takes few vehicles and then it changes again. Now, if you have a lot of people that are driving into Osona and Okahanja, they become impatient. So even that bit of seconds while the light is in the red, they will try to squeeze themselves in. So the light should at least be done in such a way, the engineering should be done in such a way that at least where there is a large concentration of vehicle, you should at least hold on for a couple of more minutes to take as much as vehicle that are turning either left or right, then you won't have that situation.
Are the traffic lights, are they set by the city of Windhoek? Do you guys set like how long it's supposed to take before it turns?
Yeah, they are set by city of Windhoek. There's a department called traffic flow, and then as well as traffic engineering. They are the one responsible for engineering, programming it, and making sure that how long it lasts. I understand that we are going in the direction of a smart city. If you look in metropolitan countries, traffic lights are controlled from the control room. And this control room is, and these traffic lights, they are having cameras, and the cameras are able to, those that are in the control room are able to see
the traffic
traffic flow and which side they should. So that's the direction really I think it will be fruitful for everyone
to head into. Okay. I see our engineer is trying to ndokotola the sound there. Some of you are saying you're experiencing issues, a little bit of feedback with the audio. In studio, we do not hear any problems. So, hopefully that will be sorted in a short while. I'm also going to get to some of your comments just now. Guys are asking where Tate Neville is. Tate Neville is attending, I think, the PMR Awards this morning, so he's going to be back with us tomorrow. But for this morning, it's me, Maria, and Mr. Fabian. There was something I wanted to ask. Fabian, I just wanted to find out how, like, for instance, sometimes you see somebody create, like, making a traffic offense, for instance, like whatever it may be, whether they're driving. I mean, sometimes you even see some officers, be it Nampol or city police, driving with the phone or whatever. So how effective is it for me to actually call the city police and report something like that? Is there like a follow-up, or is it just I lodge a complaint and then that is it?
You mean lodge a complaint when an officer is talking on the phone?
Not necessarily just an officer, just any driver, for instance. Or jumped a red light or something like that. Any form of traffic offense.
Definitely you can report it. However, you should do homework by seeing that if that particular intersection there is CCTV cameras, then you tell us at this particular time this individual was skipped a red traffic light. Then with that footage, we have sufficient evidence to attach to a fine. As well as if you can use your smartphone, then you can capture the moment when he's skipping the red traffic light. It will help us. At the end of the day, I don't know if you watch a movie by Jamie Foxx a while back, which says a law-abiding citizen. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove, unfortunately. That was the whole concept in that movie. So it's imperative when you find yourself in the situation, give us something that we can work around, because at the end of the day, we do not prosecute. We just attach evidence to those that are in power to either find or to either deal with that person. But in the absence of that, there's nothing that much we can do. But yes, and coming to police officer, I like to make it crystal clear that we are empowered by the Traffic Act as police officer to make use of a two-way communication devices in the execution of our duty. We are meaning that a two-way communication device can be walkie-talkie, it can be a smartphone. We are empowered to use it. Imagine, let me paint a scenario. I'm attending to an incident of life and death. I'm being called and I'm not picking up my phone. So at the end of the day, or maybe I just decided to quickly buy coffee as a police officer, and then my boss is calling me something urgent in that area, but I'm not picking up. At the end of the day, this person lose their lives. Look at it from that point of view. That's why we are empowered to use our gadget for the purpose of work. The only challenge comes in, how do you tell if I'm using it for the purpose of my work? There's that gray area. Because I might be there talking to my girlfriend, but unfortunately, the gray area presents us the opportunity to use it for the purpose of our work and also to take advantage. And therefore, yes, we are empowered. When you see a police officer using that, they are empowered. But whatever purpose they are using it for, unfortunately, that's difficult to quantify. But we are empowered. And the other aspect that I would like to appeal to, this weekend I attended to a situation of a child that was overly spoiled by the parent. This child is taking substance abuse. The child locked the mother outside of the house. When the mother came from church, the child didn't want to open.
How old is the child?
The child is 21.
Okay, that's not a child, please.
That's the main.
Yeah, that's a grown-up.
But to the mother, it's a child.
No, but you are saying child like 12 years old. It's a grown-up.
And because I'm part of the WhatsApp group, safety WhatsApp group for the area, I attended to just assist. She personally called me and she empowered me to break the door. Then we broke the door, and this brings to my point that let's not overly spoil our kids, because from the look of things, this child is the only born from the parents, and this child gotten used to getting everything they want to a point where, as much as a grown man, he is still having that perception that he's a child, because he outgrew staying in his parents' house, he outgrew being spoiled. So at the end of the day, it was a situation like that. And as parents, let's have that mentality of not overspoiling our children, because at the end of the day, it might backfire.
Yeah. They say we raise our children for other people, not for ourselves. You must teach them how to deal with others. Fabian, you did mention earlier on that you must always ask when the police approach you. You must ask them to identify themselves. Now, it is, I guess, common knowledge that sometimes when you ask questions, you will get a slap in your face, or you'll get some other form of assault. So if I ask the officers who, for instance, knock on my door to identify themselves, and they refuse to, then am I within my rights to not comply?
Yeah, you are within your right not to comply. However, at the same time, you can always maybe call someone to bear witness to what is happening. Yes. There's I don't know if you watch, there's a movie that is at the cinema now. It's called 21 Bridges. It's talking about a rotten police system. And there was a particular person complaining that, who do I trust? Because this person had very important information. And he said, how can I trust you? And this person, at one stage, this police officer was seen saying that the good officers outnumber the bad. Yes, we do have one or two rotten apples in the system, but that does not overshadow the good officers that are in the system. So there will always be one or two isolated incidents where officers are going either due to frustration or another. I cannot quantify it, but that should not justify. But yes, we have police officers that are like that. But for me, what keeps me going is the fact that it's an example that I was given by Elena Museng once, that there was Elena Museng, the one that works for Namibia Diamond Trading Company, where she mentioned that there was a security guard working with a lot of securities. They are being deducted unnecessarily. They are being treated unfairly at work, and so forth, even though they are overworked. However, this one individual security guard just stood out from the rest, because despite the environment, he was always smiling, he was always giving his best percent, so the environment did not change him. So that's the approach that we like to inculcate to police officers. You might have been a police officer for 10, 20 years, you are not promoted, or maybe you deserve the promotion, you did not get it. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't, there should be a disconnect between you being treated bad and you behaving in a way that society expects you. You should just give your best. Even if you are treated bad, Give your best out there when you are there. Don't let inside politics affect the way you are treating civilians, because at the end of the day, we are also there to serve public and to give our best. But you find police officer where their attitude is a reflection of what they are going through at home, what they are going through at work. In this way, you'll find the officer not going by the book. When he's knocking at your door, you do things unorthodox. We have those situations, and we are not defending them. That's why the system is set up in such a way that we do have a office of complaint and discipline, which is curtailed to investigate our own.
But does that really happen? Because, you know, a lot of people feel like reporting the police to the police is kind of senseless. Because, you know, you'll always sort of take care of your own. That's the sentiment out there.
Yeah, that's the sentiment. However, we do have success cases where rotten police officers are not with us today. They were found guilty. We have cases like that. So, but the merit of that, it already shows that when you are pursuing what is fair to you, you shouldn't lean on the pillar of they will just take care of their own. For me, personally, as an officer, in the execution of my duty, I don't mind being recorded because at any other given day, I know I do everything by the book. I have even situations where friends will call me, people that know me, they will call me and say, Mr. Fabian, I've been found by your officers here. I don't have a driver license. By who? Can you talk to him? Then I simply say, the person is doing their job. Because at the end of the day, you as a sergeant, you are calling your colleagues to do what is wrong, you lose respect. Because at the end of the day, people will say, he always talks about this and this and this, but it's very unethical. The other day, he called me when the roadblock, and just because it's his mother or whatever, and then he was asking me to look the other way. So those are the situation, ethics and morals, you have to work with it every step of your life, in everything that you do. And you should always try to make sure that you exemplify the talk.
Of course, there was also a little bit of, just to wrap up, there was a bit of outcry over the comments of the Inspector General of Nampol over the weekend. Is there anything that you would like to say with regards to that, I guess?
With regard to the Inspector General, is above my pay grade. So I would rather leave it at that. And yes, it's above my pay grade, and to that I have no comment really. Okay. And yes.
Oh, you don't want to say anything about your boss. I understand. I think maybe just give us the contact details for the city police once again before we wrap up things for today.
Yet again, we are calling on public members. Should you find yourself in a situation, even if you have a troubled child that you are losing control over, our aim is to prevent. You can call us. We can come and talk to the child, because sometimes children, they get bored hearing same adversary message from the mother. A different external person from somewhere makes a difference, especially one in uniform. 061-302-302 is our emergency number. Do call us at that number should you find yourself needing our assistance. Alternatively, I know students and learners often have a lot of SMS in abundance on their phones. You can always send us a SMS to our SMS line number 4444, and those numbers, they are operational on a 24-hour basis. Internalize them, because that's when you will need them the most. And alternatively, apart from our numbers, I would simply maybe say, know a number of somebody that matters in your life. It can be your boyfriend, it can be your mother. Know it at the top of your head. When you are in a situation, you are stuck, maybe you were chilling late, and because you don't want to have sex with your boyfriend, he doesn't want to drop you home, have that number that you call to come help you, to make arrangement for you to be picked up. Or when you are stuck in a situation, Always have a number of somebody that you know, this person never disappoint. Most of our friends, they are drinking buddies, but when you need them the most, they won't pick up your call. But have a number for someone, mommy, daddy, or anybody that you know.
Someone you can count on.
They will always come, to the rescue. And thank you for having me, sir.
It's always a pleasure having you here, Fabian. We will be seeing you again next week, Monday.
Oh, yes.
Week.
Thank you.
All right, our engineer, will you please see Mr. Fabian out? Well, tate.
How's our sound? Are we good?
And that, did you go and talk all other things?
Okay.
Is it fine now? Okay. Of course, you can go, Mr. Fabian.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, we actually would like to. Maria was showing me something here in the morning, and she was.
It's alright. That's not for the show.
I want. I'm just playing.
No, if you want to be uncomfortable, I won't be.
No. That you are right. That is not for the show. Or maybe when Neville is here, we can have that conversation. But this week, I think the Fish Road 6 are appearing in court this week again, eh?
Yeah, they are, and I see 20th of Feb, and I see the AR. I saw a poster with the AR calling for a demonstration against the bail.
Oh, like making sure that they don't get granted bail.
Yeah.
But then if you look at things, I doubt that the courts would grant them bail with all the circumstances around the case at the moment. But hey, we'll see.
We'll see.
The 20th, that is going to be on Thursday. I actually also wanted to touch a little bit on the Inspector General's comments. It seems like for some reason, he's on a warpath with the youth.
Yeah, and I think your warpath is the right word, because even last week, I think in Informanté, we covered a story. I think they had some chief of Southern Africa policing, whatever, so somebody above him came here and he made those similar comments about civil war and the youth and mobilizing themselves and whatever. So then again he made the same or similar comments at Oshana, and I think this is perhaps the third or fourth time, actually, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
In recent weeks. So I really don't. I don't know. It's starting to sound like a threat.
Yes, it's like laying some sort of foundation to sort of stamp out any. I guess dissent from the youth. It's in some way kind of trying to subvert democracy.
I was just about to say, I think that's the strangest thing. Like the very aspect of speaking out against your leaders, whether you like it or not, whether to criticize or even to insult, is a democratic right. That's democracy.
Yes.
It's free speech. It's not nice when you're on the receiving end. Nobody says it is.
Yeah.
But that's fundamentally what this country stands for. So to now want to kind of infringe on those basic rights that Namibia, we must like to celebrate those things. Yeah, free speech.
Free speech, yes.
Democracy.
Freedom of the press, freedom of
the press, this, yada, yada, that. But only apparently when it suits us, or when we are being recognized globally for it. At the crux of it, when the youth do take up, not just the youth, anybody, but mostly the youth, because they are more emboldened than anybody, I would say. When they take up those same tools to hold their government accountable, their leaders accountable, then it's a problem.
Yeah. I remember reading the quote of the Inspector General telling his regional commanders, "You call them to task, or I will call you to task." So yeah, it's either them or you. It's interesting with so many other things going on in the country that this is actually the focus of. Or such a big focus, since it's something that has been recurring now. It keeps coming up, they keep talking about it, he keeps mentioning it over and over and over again.
I think what I'm curious is, what can they do?
I don't know. You say something on WhatsApp,
yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, if I make a defamatory comment against you, right? You then go to the police and lodge a criminal injury case, right? Which then prompts the police to take action. But in the event that you're not saying anything, you don't lodge a case, on what grounds is the police coming to confront me? Is it just take down your post? And on what grounds will you be making that statement? Is it to pull me out of my house? On what grounds is that to do that? Is it to arrest me? Again, on what grounds if no case against me has been lodged? Or is it that we are saying we are giving the police the right to open these cases on behalf of a aggrieved party? What exactly are we saying? This is what I don't understand.
Yes. And that's why we're saying it goes to, it looks like, subversion of democracy, really, because it seems like they are very much willing to infringe on the rights of the youth to express themselves, which is a very slippery slope. Yeah. Hopefully we're going to get the Inspector General in studio one of these days. It's something that we have been trying to do for quite some time now.
Just don't get arrested in studio.
Ooh, my goodness. Don't even mention those things. Yeah, very slow Monday, guys. There wasn't really much happening this weekend, but by way of news in Namibia, which is kind of strange. One of the front page stories in one of the dailies is the president and the first couple, basically, apparently to reveal their wealth update.
Yeah, and this is, I think there was a previous article, if I'm not mistaken, it was by the Namibian, if not last year, the year before last year, where they reported that the First Lady has actually lost a lot of money since becoming First Lady because she's not able to engage
in some of the
businesses that she primarily would usually be allowed to, just by virtue of her office. So I'm very interested to see, because I think for the First Lady we might see a decline in wealth. I don't know for the president. That will also be equally interesting to see if he's made more money or less money as a president, or if he's lost money or...
what would it mean, though, if let's say, for instance, both of their wealth has grown, especially with the economy we've been facing over the past couple of years?
Well, she's a businesswoman. So, even with the economy, it goes without saying that business people find ways to make money in all situations of the economy. But, like I said, with reports that she hasn't been able to conduct business the way she would have liked to, my prediction is definitely that she's made. And I think I saw it when she said her money is going to go to the orphan.
Yes.
To the orphans.
She said when she dies, she's going to leave her wealth to...
Leave her wealth to the orphans. I think I saw a 10 million drop from her first initial declaration to the amount that was reported by Reuters. I think I saw it, it was, I think, 10 million less.
Are these figures even, is
audited?
Yes, like an independent,
I think,
verifiable audit.
I can't remember when they did their declaration, but I think those were audited. Where? I don't know. Actually, I think yes, they were. I think PricewaterhouseCoopers. Yes, I think they did. PwC. Sorry. I think they did the auditing, but I believe they were audited. And I think, again, they'll be audited. Otherwise, people are just sucking numbers out of their thumbs, which I don't. Like, you go to your bank balance, you're like, this is my balance. No, it's not that type of declaration. So, yes, definitely audited.
Yes, and of course, at the opening of Parliament, the President did announce that all new cabinet members would be required to declare their...
It wasn't the opening of Parliament, it was opening of cabinet.
Oh, opening... Isn't that the same thing?
No. He's got his cabinet, who are also in Parliament. The Parliament would be with other opposition parties and so forth. Yes, but at the opening of cabinet, he did mention as well that he would like everybody to declare. To
declare their assets, that would just be nice.
But what does that even mean? Didn't Saki declare? I think Saki declared. Let's just be clear. All right?
Maybe that's how he got where he is from declaring.
No, actually not, because that was 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago. So you declare, like, I have a house here, I have any properties here, I have. But it's not your proper, like I said, it's not audited. It's just a declaration like, I have a CC here, I have a PTY here, I have a house on this at this address. Those are the declarations they're talking about. But do we really know
what assets do you own?
Yeah, if it's not audited, it's not showing you a proper trail, like the value is this much, I still owe the bank this much, like a proper accounting to be accountable. For right now, like if we're looking at those figures, it's just a list of what people own and the properties they own and the businesses they own, and that's as far as it goes.
Okay, let me just check out 2 or 3 comments here from Mr. Bradley Kubisep. Good morning, my people. Cubase, bring the inspector in for this one. We will use this Facebook to question him until he reconsiders everything. That's Inspector General Ndeitunga. We will try our Admiral. We'll keep trying to get him into the studio. Jenny Kinder, it seems like our leaders forgot that when they were taking arms against the South Africans back in the day, they were also youth. History is not made by people who follow the ordinary, but the people that stand out and correct wrong.
Isn't that why perhaps they're afraid?
Yeah.
From experience, they know themselves. They when they were fed up and tired, they took up arms, and perhaps they're operating from that place.
We don't have arms to take up those.
But they took up arms. Maybe they're thinking we have the same drive.
Like we might have the drive, but we don't have the arms. Wes Neville from Venatio also declare assets to try and avert attention from the real issues. They must declare their sources of income rather. Buddha J. Van Veek saying, good morning guys. Alfredo Cubase, moet nie met Maria speel nie. She knows her thing. Saki declared, but what was it audited? That's the question.
No, those ones weren't audited.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, remains to be seen. We will see once the year really starts kicking in, and of course once our new parliament is sworn in. It's like on the 21st of March.
Somewhere it's in March. Yeah.
Somewhere there. The youth are the weapons, says Chris Kribo Mutanga.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the weapons.
The revolution always started with chicken, the younger people. Maar in any case, meneer, ik wil eindelijk gaan eten.
Ik wil ook net gaan. Ik is moe.
It's a Monday, guys. We're still trying to get our energies and Alvaro Dangas together. Tomorrow morning, Tatineva will also be in the studio. I think we might have a guest in the studio tomorrow.
Do we?
Yeah, we were supposed to.
I get kept in the dark for the most part.
No, we were supposed to have the Minister of
Isn't
Environment.
That Thursday?
Yeah, it's Thursday. Is it Thursday or Tuesday?
I think it was Thursday.
Okay. Anyway, we will confirm it for you guys, of course, tomorrow. Just make sure you stick around. Hannes is going to take over with In the Mix. Ek en Miriam.
But yes, once it's gone.
It's a lekker weather now. We're going to go for a drive. We can we can discuss that thing you were showing. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the Monday.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Friday.